estate market for Madison, Alabama. We have Beau Miles. He's the broker and owner of Essential Real Estate. Every month for 2 whopping years, he has been giving us an update on the Madison market. And what's wild is that we did not know that for 2 years the market was going to go like this. It's winter time. I would think the market is maybe slower, not sure. I'm going to turn it over to Beau. If real estate is up your alley right now, you're thinking about buying or selling in 2024, time to turn up the volume, open up your ears. Beau surely has good info and numbers. Beau, take it away.
Well, we survived the ice apocalypse, so now it's time to get back to normal life, I hope. And so let's kind of dive in. Let's get into numbers. So first and foremost, Madison only. That's always our first stat. So if you're listening to this in Huntsville, do not take my stats as your gospel truth. However, you can use them as data you want to extrapolate. Do whatever you want to do with. But last month we had 471 homes on the market. This month we had 432. We're going to compare that though to last year, same time period, 2023, January, 234. A lot more. We're going to come back to
houses on the market right now.
Definitely a lot more on the market. We're going to come back to some of that though, because there's some reasons behind all that, and it's all good reasons in my opinion. Days on the market. Actually, I realized I was like, man, I'm having trouble. Hey, there we go.
Expert credibility.
Days on the market last month, we were looking at 36. Right now, we got 44 as of this morning. Last year, same time period, 32. Went up a little bit. Does that mean the bottom's here? Let's talk about that in a second. Contingent sold or pending houses last month, 225. 200 this month. 195 last year. And then this is my favorite number. I know nobody really probably geeks out over this number like I do, but average price of the homes that were sold, 414 last month, 409 last year, 418 this last month. So what we're actually seeing here is we have more houses on the market, longer days on the market, less houses sold, and they're all more money. Now, granted, in fairness, if you really take this data set together, there's very, very little that is wildly changing except for the amount of houses on the market in 1 year. 32 days to 44 days on the market is still a pretty big jump, but it doesn't really worry me in the end when last month we were 36. When, we've also in the middle of the days on the market had ice apocalypse, had the Christmas and New Year season. I mean, guys, I hate to, and that kind of is your contingent sold and pending. I hate to tell you, we sell more than 25 homes in Madison a week. And so I don't know if you know this, but a lot of us don't like to work that week between Christmas and New Year. And so I'm not promising that people plan their stuff at different times. The only good news is end of the year, end of the month. So a lot of people were still trying to get it in there. But I could guarantee 25 houses were pushed into the new year as hey, I don't really want to, deal with that. Now, with that being said, what concerns me of this is not concerns, but the biggest change is that year over year, we have about double our houses on the market. However, there's been a prevailing wind in this market of more rates, longer. Everybody thinks it's bad. But today is the 30th. Today or tomorrow, we are expecting a meeting from the Federal Reserve. There is a lot of rumor as to what it's going to say. I personally think we're going to get our first cut of 2024. They've told us we're probably going to get about a point and a half cut off of what's called basis rate over the year. But so what does that mean? Mm-hmm. So I want to kind of do a quick explanation of this one more time. The Federal Reserve is who loans money to banks primarily and a couple other institutions, but mainly banks. Those guys then give money to you, the consumer. Your houses, your cars, your whatever it might be in that regard. Mm-hmm. And so basically they give it in. And so you hear like, oh, points went up a quarter. And that means my rate yesterday was 7. Today is 7.25. No, by the way it kind of rolls down, it's all about margins and how much people are wanting to make off their money. So banks can drop or raise rates based off of their personal forecasting. So even an answer of where doing nothing typically leads in this market to a drop in the rate you see. So I actually expect you to be able to lock in at a better rate. I don't have the exact one this morning, but I was already hearing the words 6.5 over the last few weeks. And so I'm betting high credit scores, 30-year notes, things of that nature can get to 6.25%, 6%, which then we start knocking on that wonderful 5 door, and that's where our market changes. So that's kind of a whole lot of information in there, just kind of raw facts, nothing really flashy this month. But, I think that we're about to see another, I won't call it a boom, because everybody remembers 2021, and that was something. But I would call it I expect all those numbers. I expect the prices to go up, the contingent sold and pending to go up. I expect days on the market to go down, and I expect active to go down because they will go off the market quicker. Over the next quarter, I expect to see that. And then this summer, we're off to the races.
Question for you.
Yeah.
A lot of people move during the summer for school and that sort of thing. When do those people who are looking to move here and purchase a home, when do you start traditionally hearing from them? Are they reaching out in February, March?
I've got some now
Okay.
already reaching out, but I will answer this with a question back to you. Erica, you are the wife of a military man, and you have lived in a couple places. When do you get orders for your June move?
Oh, you never know. It truly could be 3 weeks out, or it could be 7 months out. It's really, really unpredictable.
So I say that to say that is a huge thing. We see usually a pretty good influx around March.
With military. Okay.
Also, the weather gets a little bit better.
Yeah.
Nobody really wants to get out. I think it's sunny today, but guys, it has been like doom and gloom clouds for like 10 days. We're just like, this is crummy, And so I think that as we see the weather get a little warmer, people want to get out a little more. So March is typically when we start seeing the influx. April, and then of course May, people are moving in June and July, and it's pretty intense during that period of time. And so but I do already have a couple people who are looking to move here in May and June, and they're already looking. Absolutely. And I would tell you that start looking now. If you think you're moving, start looking at least to determine what you like. Go ahead and get pre-approved so that if rates do drop, you can lock in at a good rate and start house shopping. It's one of those things that we are looking at a little bit longer days on the market. So go ahead and get your house on the market, get it ready to sell, start finding those options, because now the options are there for these buyers who don't want to move till May. You go, well, I don't want to move till May either. I'll put my house on the market and rent it back to you for 3 months or whatever it might be.
Sure. All right. Rapid fire question for you, Beau. If you are looking to move to Madison and purchase a home, or maybe you live in Madison right now and you've been waiting for 2 years to move and you're like, all right, I'm finally ready to move. Give us one big overarching, really practical, tangible tip for buyers that want to move to Madison City, ASAP.
There's two.
Okay.
One, act fast. Not because our market is so crazy that we have to go and do all these things, but we can see that prices have gone up 10K over the last year on average. Average, okay? So the longer you wait, the more, they say every time we get a point drop in interest rates nationwide, we add 8 million new buyers to the market, not total, new. So take it away and say every time you get a quarter, that's 2 million new nationwide buyers. We have some of those are coming here. And so that's just a normal supply and demand. So when you're ready to move, don't go before you're ready, okay? We're not telling you to make stupid choices. But what we're telling you to do is when you're ready, when you have the money, when you have the time, when you have those abilities, go. Because it's only going to get more expensive. If you look at our long-term nation average, we've only had one long-term decrease in prices, and that was in 2008. Okay. And so, guys, we're not going back there. There's no signs of any of that. So prices are only going up. So while you hate that quarter point more you're paying, you get in now and you save it in the end. And so, I tell you, act fast. But two, my biggest advice I have to all my buyers: save money, I cannot express how important financial literacy is in this industry.
Mm, okay.
It is so important to know to save money, know where to save money, and how to save money. It's one of those things that it's easy to go 0% down or this or that or this or that. Those days are pretty gone. I mean, you can find it here and there, but if you're looking to get a deal by getting them to pay your closing and doing that all, and that's what you have to have,
Yeah.
well, now you've pigeonholed yourself into things that may or may not exist. And so save money so that when the time is right, you can strike.
That is such good advice. And we really haven't discussed much of
No,
financial literacy in this, but you are so right. As someone who has purchased numerous homes, there
yep,
is always some costs that come out of the woodworks that maybe you weren't expecting. But my tip for someone is to make sure that you're arming yourself with a great agent who can
yep,
help you come up with creative ways that help lower some of those out of pocket
agree.
costs. We've been the recipients of really good realtor advice. And I say that because you helped us buy and sell a home, where there wasn't a whole lot of excess and you were
Well, I
able to say,
mean,
here are some things
we
you can do.
I mean, one of the first things we did, I remember we were talking about the purchase of that home that you're living in right now. And
Yeah.
you were like crunching numbers. And we were at the house one night and we ran
Mhm.
a estimated closing statement. You said, "What's this?" And I said, "That's
Yeah.
origination fee." And you said,
Yeah.
"Why am I paying that?" And I said, "Well, some people do and some people don't." And you're
Yep.
like, "That's a lot of money." And I said, "Well, I've got a loan guy who does not charge origination. And that one act alone, just by giving me the name, saved you lots and lots of money." So find an agent who
Yes.
can do that and knows like, hey, this is where we go to get this a little cheaper to
Yeah.
help ease that burden off your back. You don't need to have to pay that all the time. Sometimes you do, but sometimes you don't.
Yeah. Well, and that's the other thing is in this market in Madison, it is so important to find, again, somebody who is super knowledgeable, that knows all kinds of people in all of the
Yeah.
different industries that work together to help you purchase a home. Someone like you is very well connected. Beau, give us one really great solid tip for somebody who is currently selling their home or wants to sell their home but feels
Yeah.
intimidated by this market. They feel like maybe they're not going to get the money they want. Give us a tip for our sellers.
Now, this is the one I'm going to kind of regurgitate your tip. Have a great agent who can walk into your home and tell you what you need to do. And when they tell you, don't be defensive.
Mm-hmm.
When we come in and say, take that picture
Mm-hmm.
down, hey, we really need to paint this room. We need to do this and we need to do that. I know you think that room is real pretty. I know you love it. And that is great.
Yes.
We are trying to sell your house. I'm
Right.
not trying to help you decorate. And I
No.
don't mean that crass or rude, but what I mean by that is when we're the professionals, listen, when I go to the doctor and they tell me, you got to do this and this and this and this, I do it because they're professionals. They've
Yeah.
trained. They know what they're doing. When I go to the mechanic, when I go to the dentist, when I go to any of these people, we do what they say because they're trained and they're good at what they do. So when
Yeah.
you bring in a real estate agent, trust them, listen to them. You may not always can. They might be like, we need to replace all this
Mm-hmm.
wood rot all around the house and you can't afford it. We'll talk to them about ways to be creative to help with that. And there's
Mm-hmm.
those options there. So make sure you have a good agent and listen to them and hear their opinion and trust it.
Mm-hmm. All right. Few questions for you that you weren't expecting. What's
I
your
like
favorite
them.
restaurant in Madison right now?
Oh my gosh. In Madison right now?
In Madison right now, rapid fire. You got 10
Oh
seconds.
my gosh. I mean, y'all know I always go to the Stemmenstein, but it's not really a restaurant. I always just go and have a little beer there. Let's see though. Again, this is where I just go and do work sometimes. I've been going to the Leaf, the new cigar bar on County Line. Super great. But restaurant where we're going to eat a lot. Um, I'm trying to think. We go to Old Black Bear a good bit. I love those guys there. I love Todd. I love all those guys. So we go there a good bit. I know mine. This is embarrassing. I'm gonna sound bougie, but it's because I only go for lunch. J. Alexander's.
Oh, you can't beat
Their
it. Yeah.
tuna stack there is dumb good.
Jay Alexander's is consistent every single
Yeah.
time. What is your favorite thing about going to a Trash Pandas game? Because
Oh
you're a
my
season ticket holder.
I am a season ticket holder, and we have seats on the third. It's easy. I have the self-service. Like I click a button, take a picture, click things on my phone, and people show up and hand me my hot dog or my hamburger. I don't stand in the lines. Yes, I don't get quite as many options, But I'm
Yeah.
going to be honest with you, I don't need that many options when you come just to my table. So, and just the environment's fun. I love minor league baseball. So it's
Yeah.
just a fun environment.
I love it. All right,
Yeah.
Beau, you are a fabulous dad. You have 2 young kids. You have an awesome wife, tight-knit family. The 4 of you are going to go out and hang out, family fun night. Where are you taking your 2 elementary age kids and your wife?
Man, well, we stay at home a lot, as you know, like in terms of our family unit. But
Mhm.
if we're going out, are we in Madison or are we wherever?
North Alabama.
North Alabama.
Yeah. Where are you guys
Well,
going to go for family fun night? Beau
okay,
loves
just
it. Your kids love it.
yeah, I mean, if you ask Hayes, my little one, he wants to go to Dave and Buster's.
Okay.
But we love like outdoor stuff. I love going to like Campus 805 and being in the
Yeah.
outdoors there, Stove
Yeah.
House, all of that stuff.
Yeah.
Really walking around downtown is super fun too. We love to take our kids just about anywhere. So yeah, I would definitely say that kind of stuff. But I'll be honest with you, it's about to be baseball season and we're about to spend a good bit of time at Palmer Park. And
Yeah.
I know this sounds weird, but being at Palmer and like around our community and like kind of in that is so nostalgic to me from where I
Yeah.
grew up. Like I
Mhm.
leave those nights completely rejuvenated, watch my son play baseball,
I
laugh my
love
head
it.
off at some stuff, and just get to see the community. So I love
Yeah.
going to Palmer Park.
Yeah, Palmer Park and Dublin and those places definitely are
Fun.
super nostalgic. Well, thank you so
Yep.
much for humoring my questions. Adds to just,
I like it.
showcasing Madison as a whole. Thanks so much for joining us for January 2024. We'll see you next month.
Bye, girl.
Bye.